All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this Boudoir Facebook ad, diagnose to see if we believe it has BLCS, aka Boudoir low click syndrome. And Boudoir low click syndrome is when the unique CTRL of our Boudoir Facebook ad is under 6%. What this metric means is how many women out of 100 are clicking anywhere, somewhere on our ad, aka how many women did not simply scroll on by our ad. And so if they did not scroll on by and instead they clicked somewhere on our ad, we need this to be as high of a percentage as possible out of 100 because this is how many people or how many women out of 100 are that our ad has entered their brain. And we care about that because if our ad enters their brain, that's the only possible way they'll ever buy from us. And if our ad never enters their brain, their chance of buying from us is 0. So this is literally the number one metric we need to optimize first. So we actually got under 6% is not normal, is a symptom of a deeper root cause. And that deeper root cause are the 3 pre-click mistakes, the 3 PCM, which most boudoirs I've seen have these. And a boudoir Facebook advertiser with BLCS is a boudoir low-click advertiser, a BLCA. So we can see our universe taking shape there on the bottom. A BLCA with BLCS is caused by the 3 pre-click mistakes. And BLCS is treated with Boudoir pre-click optimization, Boudoir Pico. I invented this. No one else in the universe has this. Treatment takes about a week. And the way it works is we actually duplicate the original ad. That ad can stay on or stay off, whatever. We leave it as it is. We duplicate it. We apply Boudoir Pico to the duplicated ad. Treatment takes about a week. And then we choose the one to keep running that has the better unique CTRL metric. And every single time it's been the one true with Boudoir Pico, but this is kind of the game plan here. And once true with Boudoir Pico, we now have pre-click alignment, so PCA. So we get rid of the 3 pre-click mistakes, we get pre-click alignment. Pre-click alignment with female psychology and how they use the social media newsfeed to either stay and click on an ad or scroll on by. And pre-click alignment activates Boudoir brain entry boost in our Boudoir Facebook ads. Basically what that means is we get our unique CTRL above 6%. So, we're going to boost and get our Boudoir Facebook ads into women's brains. And again, that's the only chance they will ever purchase from us. And a Boudoir Facebook advertiser with Boudoir brain entry boost is a dominant Boudoir advertiser, a DBA. So, got our universe here, a BLCA with BLCS, caused by the 3 pre-click mistakes, super common. Straight with Boudoir Pico takes about a week. We achieve the pre-click alignment, and we then become dominant Boudoir advertisers with Boudoir brain entry boost. All right, so now from my residency, found Boudoir Facebook ads out there in the wild. First one tested, found this unique CTRL was 4.3%. So basically, 4.3 out of 100 women, our ad was entering their brain. I said, okay, that's under 6%. So we know that BLCS is present. So what did I do? Duplicate the ad, treated it with Boudoir Pico, takes about a week, and got the unique CTRL up to 6.88, almost 7%. So, a shift from nearly 4 out of 100 to 7 out of 100. Now, what we found though with this Boudoir Pico ad, or Boudoir Pico treated ad, is the old ad was wasting 37% of their ad spend. It was being wasted on so many more women scrolling on by, but we paid for those impressions. And so if they were spending 10 grand a month on Boudoir Facebook ads, now they can decrease their budget by that $3,700 a month, which was wasted. Simply run the new Boudoir Facebook ad tree with Boudoir Pico. Pocket that $3,700 a month, or whatever that is, 40 grand in the first year, and still get their Boudoir Facebook ad into the same number of women's brains as the original ad. But they get like an invisible 40K of profit in the next 12 months. All right, second part of my residency. Tested the original ad, 1.39% unique CTRL. So it's under 6%. We know BLCS is present. So again, duplicated it, treated the BLCS with Boudoir Pico, takes about a week. We got our unique CTRL up to 9.13%. So we found out the original ad was wasting 84% of ad spend. So if they're spending 10 grand a month on the original ad, now they can spend simply, they can decrease their spend by 8,400 bucks a month, pocket that as kind of a invisible bonus or invisible profit. What's that, 100 grand over the next year? And simply run the new Boudoir Pico treated ad at 1,600 bucks a month, and they can get their Boudoir Facebook ad into the same number of women's brains as, as the original ad at spending 10 grand a month. Finally, had a patient, his Boudoir Facebook ad, he had unique CTRL of about 5%, so we know that BLCS is present. I actually did a super in-depth Boudoir Pico treatment for this one. And we got the unique CTRL up to 15.35%, that's insanely good. That's better than probably everyone's retargeting, because everything we're doing here on this page is going to cold audience. People have never seen us before. And we found out that the original ad with BLCS was wasting 67% of its ad spend. So if he's spending 10 grand a month on Boudoir Facebook ads with the original ad, now he can spend, he can decrease his ad spend by 6,700 bucks a month and simply pocket that, what's that, 80 grand over the next 12 months, and simply run the new Boudoir Pico treated Facebook ad with ad spend of 3,300 bucks a month and get the ad into the same number of women's brains as the original ad. So massive, massive savings here also that allows us to spend more to, we can become the highest spender to acquire clients. So this is literally the only method available to become the, number one in our city. Because it's the only method that I know that enables us to outspend our competition to acquire a customer that no one else in our city can match unless, they're working with me as well. So from these numbers, from spending real money out in the marketplace in different cities, the average Boudoir Facebook ad with BLCS is wasting about 50% of its ad spend. I mean, we can see right here, 37%, 84%, 67%. What's the average? What's the average of that? Probably 50 to 60%. So spending 10 grand a month on Boudoir Facebook ads, we're wasting average 5K a month, 60K over the next year. And someone else getting the top spot in our city. So now that we know all that, let's see if see if we believe this has BLCS, aka Boudoir low click syndrome. All right, so we got the below creative cluster mistake here. Got too much stuff below the creative, aka below the photo, aka below the ad itself. The false belief that causes us to make this mistake is we're trusting Meta that all these fields, everything they tell us to put on our ad is good for us to put on our ad. The actual consequence of this, though, is adding all these things makes more women scroll by our ad than necessary, way more women. From the last slide we saw is about half the women we can get to not scroll, and actually take in our ad. So we're having more women scroll by our ad per unit time, which means we're wasting more money per unit time, but it enables Facebook to serve more ads to those women per unit time. So Facebook gets more money, we get less money on the back end and more wasted money up front. So always a mistake there. And let's see. Oh yeah, this looks like an ad mistake. The false belief that causes us to make this mistake is we believe that ads should look like ads. It's how you've seen on newspapers, TV, magazines, other social media ads, other Boudoir Facebook ads. That ads look like ads, but in fact, this causes way more women to scroll on by, and we're wasting all that money. Our ad never enters those women's brains. Finally, we'll look at the see more headline. First 2 3/4 lines, Facebook newsfeed mobile. So that's only going to be this stuff. Calling smut-loving bookworms, you're perfect just the way you are, and you deserve to celebrate it. So, all right, so we got a little bit of who it's for, and then something about celebrating. Yeah, it's the lack of context mistake. So we're lacking the context of who our ad is actually for. The false belief that causes us to make this mistake is, we've been running this for a while. Looks similar to other Boudoir Facebook ads we've actually seen out in the wild. It's been working well for us, good enough for us as it is. But the consequence of this is way, way, way more women are scrolling by our ad than necessary. And again, we're probably wasting about half our money. So, yeah, based on this, I do believe the unique CTRL of this Boudoir Facebook ad is under 6%. Therefore, yes, I do believe this one in particular does have BLCS, aka Boudoir low click syndrome. And so if you're spending more than 10 grand a month on Boudoir Facebook ads and you're looking to find more profit in the business and you've decided, this needs to happen and you've exhausted all your other kind of avenues, other things you can test, and you're ready to become number one dominant Boudoir advertiser in your city, because again, us saving this money enables us to spend the most to acquire a customer, which means we can always outspend our competition, which means we can reach out into colder and colder audiences way farther than everyone else and convert them, or at least have the best chance to. And so yeah, on average, if you spend more than 10 grand a month, about 5K of that's being wasted every month. So we can probably save you around that's 50% of wasted ad spend, and that'd be 60 grand in the next year. So if you are ready to become number one in your city and you decide this has to happen, then I am opening slots for new patient intake the final day of this month. My DMs are closed right now, but my DMs will be open the last day of this month. So send a DM then.